Hello everybody, I am so excited to do this video today because I want to do a video on my journey. So I think I'm going to do a couple parts to this video, but the first part is going to be how I became a model at 18 years old. So I figure I'm just going to kind of tell you guys that story. So yeah, I started modeling when I was 18. I'm going to just start there. It was actually the day after I turned 18 years old. And kind of what happened was I always wanted to be a model, which is so weird. Like, what, I don't even know why, because my older sister, who is a medical doctor right now, she was the biggest influence in my life. She never wanted to be a model. I think she kind of always knew she was going to be a medical doctor, and the direction that she kind of put her life in was, I think, the beginning of how a traditional medical doctor's life probably would go. You know, she always did really well at school. She did just a lot in school. Like, she was in so many different, like, extracurricular activities. She was really outgoing. Everybody really wanted to be her friend. She is so popular. She has so many friends. She could apply to probably any job and they would pick her over anybody else. She's just that kind of person. And that's my sister. And it's really weird because I'm probably, like, just really different because obviously I started modeling and I went in just a completely different direction than a medical doctor, I guess, did. So it's really unique because, you know, a lot of people copy their older sisters, and I think I did in so many ways, but our careers definitely did not go the same way. But with my little sister, we have the exact same career. So it's weird how that happened. So I'm going to just kind of go back to when I turned 18 years old. I had mostly just my influence with my older sister. I remember telling my mom when I was younger that I wanted to be a model, and she said no. She was completely against it. I remember one time I, like, emailed somebody back when there was, like, dial-up and was like, I want to be a model or something, and my mom was so mad at me. She was like, this guy is probably going to kidnap you and all of this stuff. So it was just, it kind of started off bad when I was younger because I almost kind of a little bit went behind my back or my mom's back when I tried to get that modeling job, which probably did not exist, and I probably was going to get kidnapped. But I was so young, I don't even remember why I did it. So yeah, my mom was completely against modeling, would not let me do it at all. And also, this is kind of an important piece, I'm also from kind of like central New York, and I'm from a Roman Catholic Italian family. And no one's a model. Or never even was, I don't think. I don't know. I don't think so. Most of my family were immigrants, so we mostly worked in the factories, and I think probably some of mine still do. I actually, a couple names just came to mind. So that's kind of, if you can imagine, how I kind of grew up. So I mostly grew up with my mom, and we were in New York, and modeling was not something that people decided to do. So, yeah, I think she was like, what? But when I turned 18 years old, I was actually living on the West Coast. My mom decided to leave New York, and we moved out to the West Coast. And when I got there, it was like, I was so excited because I was like, I'm going to be able to model. Like, I'm going to be able to do all these things that I wanted to do. And even when I was even younger than that time that I wrote the mystery person to try and get a modeling job when I was probably like 10. I remember looking at magazines when I was maybe even younger, like 8, and was like, I want to be one of these girls. I'm sure probably every girl did that, but I was like, no, I'm doing this. And I was really young. So it is weird how I kind of always knew my path. And it's weird, even my older sister, she was like a doctor since she was born. It's weird that her path was already like kind of like there for her too. So yeah, it's kind of weird how that happens. How, I don't know, I feel like my destiny was what it actually became. Weird. If that even makes sense. I don't know. So when I turned 18 years old, I was on the West Coast, and my mom was like, you should start modeling. You should go, do this and that. No, Playboy and all these things. And I remember being like, well, I already signed up for a casting for Playboy. I'm definitely doing that. And I was just like, I'm ready. Like, I want to do this. I want to do more things. And I am not tall. I am 5 feet tall, pretty much. So modeling is definitely like, runway's kind of out. Even though when I turned 18 years old, I actually did runway. It was just for like Agassi clothing, which is kind of like a teen clothing. And I did a Yandy lingerie fashion show. I think it was a costume show. And I actually did quite a few things. I did GoDaddy's, I forgot what modeling thing it was for GoDaddy. I did quite a few things. Like when I turned 18 years old, I got really lucky. And I became also part of this like modeling group where we did like car shows and Jesus, I'm trying to think of all the things that I did because I was so young because I just turned 18. So I started doing all these things. And then I got into Playboy. I did a TV show, and it was about one girl being picked for a playmate, which I didn't make it, but I knew after that I wanted to keep going. So I was really determined to just keep modeling. And yeah, it was really easy. And I just kind of used the internet to find jobs. I was like, okay, this company, and I think I went through a club too. The club was hosting a lot of the fashion shows, so I kind of got in that way. And I just made as many friends as possible, talked to photographers. I'm trying to think, I did so many things when I was 18 years old, and I still can't believe that I even got asked to do some of the things that I got asked. I remember Big Brother, Next, which was like an MTV show, I think. Yeah, so many different things. So I got really lucky that I got so many opportunities, but I think it was also the place that I moved to. I was close to California. So they did a lot of castings in the city that I was at. So I got kind of lucky because I don't think I would have been able, or I definitely would have not been able to do any of the stuff that I did if I still lived in New York, that's for sure. But yeah, I just got really lucky, and as soon as I turned 18, I got so many different jobs that I just became a model, and then I kind of progressed after that.